thank you for coming to the presentation on how intelligent can your emotions be at work. My name, just kind of introduce myself, my name is Claudia Garcia. I'm a senior admin coordinator at the University of North Texas in Fort Worth. I work in the PA Studies department. I've been there about 10 years now. I kind of started out as a temporary employee and kind of just work with faculty. Now I work with the clinical year students where I work with them going on clinical rotation. The clinical rotation is kind of a stressful time for the students because they really don't know sometimes to the last minute what rotation they are going to be on. And this is going to, maybe they're going to be in the DFW area or they could go anywhere outside. So it just kind of, their emotions are kind of always, can be different types. There's I want to go ahead and introduce everybody here today. Can I get your name?
My name is Adriana Garcia.
Okay. Do you go to school or work?
I go to
School? Okay, great. And how about you?
My name is Natalie Garcia, and I go to school, and I go at LTEC Middle School.
Okay. Natalie, can you tell me what you think emotional intelligence is?
I think emotional intelligence is things that you have to do with your emotions and how you feel.
Okay, awesome. The things I want to try to go over today is understanding what emotional intelligence is. Why emotional intelligence is important in a workplace, and maybe for you, Adriana, how can it be important in your school? Next, we're also going to talk about how to learn how to use it to improve your relationships at work, and in your case, Adriana, at school. And then how to become more emotional intelligent, like tips, maybe ways that make you help you to be more emotional intelligent. I'm just going to kind of show you some slides here. There's some sheets of paper here that if you want to just jot your answers down. When you're looking at this slide, tell me how you feel about it. What emotion or thought or feeling you feel when you see this slide. I'll just give you a moment here. Adriana, how does this picture make you feel?
It makes me feel brave, fearless, and kind of scared for the person.
Yeah. So if you're in this situation yourself, you might feel scared.
Mhm.
Natalie, do you have anything that maybe?
It makes me feel adventurous. Maybe she's an athlete. Maybe she's reaching her dreams.
Yeah. Awesome. Next picture here is just like maybe a baby that's crying. How does this picture make you feel?
It makes me feel sad and a little funny because some babies are crying. When they cry, it's funny.
Yeah. And how about you, Natalie? How does this make you feel?
It makes me feel like bad for the baby because you never know what it's like crying about, but many babies make funny faces when they cry, so it's funny.
Yeah. So it's kind of cute because he's making like his lip is a little curling there, and he just looks cute. But then at the same time, it can make you feel sad or worried. Like, what if he's hungry or what if he hurt himself there? Okay, the last slide I have here is just a picture of a beach with 2 chairs. The sun's bright and shiny, white sandy beach here, blue water. How does this make you feel, Adriana?
Oh, it makes me feel relaxed and it makes me feel like I'm gonna have fun if I'm there.
Yeah? Okay, Nellie, about you. What are some things that you wrote down?
It makes me feel like kind of grossed out because I'm gonna get sunburned.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be in a colder place and just maybe chilling like in my room.
Yeah. Yeah. So we kind of had 3 different slides here and a kind of a variety of emotions. You know, one thing we can kind of see this that there's a lot of different emotions when we see the same exact picture here. These different responses, even though we might have, like we said, saw the same images, we might have felt something different, and that's our emotion, like how our emotion reacts to this. In any situation, we need to gauge our feelings before we act or make it on it. Like that baby, for instance, we might have thought it was cute. We go and pick up that baby, and he could have cut himself or hurt himself, and then we're wondering what was going on there. So I just kind of want to define emotional intelligence for you. Emotional intelligence is a set of emotion and social skills that influence the way we proceed and express ourselves, the way we develop and maintain social relationships, and how we cope with challenges. And also use emotional information in an effective and meaningful way. That is the definition of what emotional intelligence is. So there are some areas that emotional intelligence kind of measures when you're dealing with this. There are 5 things that you'll go over here. The first one is self-perception. Self-perception is our ability to express your emotion. This is how to be self-awareness of what's going on in this emotional state. The next one is self-expression. Like, you might want to describe this as, how well do you think you express your emotions? Like, are you introvert? Are you quiet? Kind of keep to yourself? Or are you extrovert? You're loud and kind of life of the party there. The third one here is interprofessional. Personal. This is maybe something that how good you are initiating relationship with people. Like, how are you good at building these relationships with people. The fourth one is decision making. This was like how well you use your emotion to make different life decisions. And the last one is stress management. Stress management is how do you deal with things emotionally when you're dealing with stress. Like if you have maybe a student that comes in and he's mad because he failed the test. Like, how would you deal with that student because their emotions are high and it makes your emotions high? How can you be more flexible in their situation to be able to deal with that? So it's like the people who are more flexible tend to be more successful. So that's one thing we want to know about it. Okay, so we kind of want to just go over what are some things that a high and low emotional intelligent person might have as a characteristic. So there's the sheets I gave you earlier. If y'all want to flip on the back side and just write, what do you think a person has that is emotional, has a high emotional intelligence and a low emotional intelligence? So I'll just kind of give you a moment there to jot some things down. Okay. Natalie, did you have some things that you want to share?
I think high emotional intelligence is like whenever you are calmed, patient, and relaxed, and then maybe even laid back. And low emotional intelligence is crazy, maybe impatient, loud, and maybe even wild.
Awesome, those are good ones. Adriana, did you have any to share to those?
I think high emotional intelligence is like a good person that like does the good thing, and low emotional intelligence means like the daredevil doesn't really want to do anything.
Like maybe impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are good ones. So I just kind of want to list some for you all to see. So a lower emotional intelligence might be, like you said, Nellie, impatient, self-centered, might outburst, kind of be loud, doesn't want to be like a team-based player, kind of doesn't want to collaborate with their group or employees. And maybe a poor communicator, doesn't want to kind of tell what's going on or tell the story that's going on. And they're just kind of really pessimist. They kind of have a bad look, kind of the Eeyore of the group. As they say, they just want to think it's always about negative. Somebody with a high emotional intelligence, they're patient, they're collective, calm, they're empathetic. Like they kind of want to understand what's going on in your situation. They're a good listener. They, kind of want to communicate with you to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, and they're positive. They want to make things better and to help you out. So I just kind of want to go over maybe some reason why emotional intelligence is important at work. You know, there was a survey analysis at the Center of Creative Leadership that found that they did this analysis of 302 supervisors and found that at higher levels of emotional intelligence are associated with better performance in these following areas, 6 areas. So the self-awareness, it's kind of like being able to again see where you're can kind of deliver the situation there, and then with managers that are putting people at ease, you know, someone that's straightforwardness, that can keep their composure in a high situation, and they're good about building and maintaining those relationships, and maybe rebuilding or mending the relationship. Another is confronting problem employees. Their performance in these areas in change management, these type of with the higher emotional intelligence are able to, you know, kind of be better performance in these areas. So that's one of the these are areas that, you know, we deal with daily as a employer. The one thing about emotional intelligence, it also is called EQ. It affects everyday decisions that employees make. You know, 71% of hiring managers surveyed at the Career Builders in 2011 said that they value the emotional intelligence more than someone that has a higher IQ. And that, you know, kind of goes to show that they want someone that can perform better because of that higher emotional intelligence. So what are some things that you might want to recognize to improve your relationship at work? You have signals that kind of happen that you might want to notice in yourself that happens that you can recognize at, before these happen. You know, kind of QT can impact our mental well-being, like how we deal with situations, as you can see. Those with high emotional level of emotional intelligence kind of have that happier outlook on life, and some with the lower EQ, it just kind of has a less positive attitude when it comes with situations. So I just want to kind of show you some things that I kind of know that my physical self does when I know my emotions are rising. One of the things that happens is my increased heart rate. Like I have an Apple Watch, and my Apple Watch will start beating that I need to breathe. So that's just one of the things that I know that, okay, my emotionals are getting to me. Butterflies in my stomach, like I have this kind of weird feeling that happens when I have, like I know something's just emotionally bothering me, that this situation I need to step out of to kind of deal with it. Sweating, my voice pitch rises, I get louder. When a lot of people are like, okay, Claudia, calm down, you know, you're getting too loud. You know, some of the things that I do know that if these are happening, what I can do, like my watch will say breathe. Like I take my time to take a deep breath and then just count to the 1 to 10 to try to calm myself down and get myself out of that emotional state. I close my eyes a lot. I just will kind of take a moment to myself and close my eyes to kind of get back into my normal state there. So my emotions are really not affecting me in this situation. One of the things that I do also, I have a picture of a pleasant scene. It's like a boardwalk that has clouds and nice. And I always kind of find myself looking at that picture to kind of get myself back to my emotional state there. I just kind of want to go over also some tips for improving your emotions intelligence. One of the things is practice observing how you feel. Like take deep breaths, set timers. You know, if you have a calendar at work that does an appointment, you can set up an appointment for yourself to just get your emotions right. Like if you know if you know a meeting's coming up and you need to, it's kind of a stressful meeting, and so maybe set that timer there. Another one is to understand what motivates you. If you know something that motivates you, it helps you get you to that finish line. This is going to help you be useful, like in projects or tasks that you need to help be completed there. Third one is don't expect people to trust you if you can't trust them. So remember, people are humans, and we all make mistakes. So I know if you can't get your employees to trust you, it's hard for you to get them to trust you back. So give them a second chance. You know, you might want to be able to trust them again, and then they'll be able to trust you. And then the fourth one is stand and stretch. Like get up on your desk, you know, stand up for 10 seconds, and then just stretch. Like one of the things I do, we have kind of like a roundabout in our hallway, and I kind of get up, go back, and then this helps me come back to my desk and just stay focused and be motivated to do my next task. And the number 5 I kind of suggest here is just listen. You know, put the phone away, put your pen away, and when someone's talking, just listen to what's going on. You won't be able to. You'll be able to hear what the person's saying, so it doesn't cause, you know, that emotion of, okay, what did they say? What did I miss? You know, what if I did miss something? Just kind of wrapping up here, going over of some things that I went over. We just talked about the benefits of having a high emotional intelligence at work, and this is dealing with those situations, being, you know, stress-free, being flexible. It helps in those situations. And also we talked about how to recognize your emotion or being effective. So those are those physical cues that you might notice today. Like what are your physical cues that you might have? And then tips for improving your emotional intelligence. Like what are some things that you can do? Maybe write a journal or diary every day that kind of help you keep your emotions in check there. All right, does anybody have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. I just want to thank y'all for coming and learning about emotional intelligence. If you would please fill out their surveys here at the table, and if you want to, I will send these through email to you, the PowerPoint, and I also have a handout about that gives you more tips on handling your emotional intelligence. Thank you again for coming.